Elmantis Stanionis has started off the year yapping away, chatting, giving out bare interviews, talking stuff. WBA welterweight title holder. That's who we're talking about. So let's read this boxing scene interview that he done with Lucas Catelli on the 2nd of January 2025. Elmantis Stanionis calls for unification fights with fellow champions. WBA welterweight title holder Elmantis Stanionis is seeking a unification fight. Stanionis returned to the ring in May to win a 12-round unanimous decision over Gabriel Mainstay at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stanionis, a 30-year-old from Lithuania, previously snapped a 25-month layoff after Virgil Ortiz Jr. had to withdraw from their planned bout in 2023. Stanionis, who has a record of 15-0 with 9 KOs, wants another title. I want to unify the division and prove I am the best welterweight in the world, Stanionis said. No more excuses, Stanionis said. Let's get these unifications done. I'm ready for whoever steps up first. Via a press release, Stanionis methodically analyzed the current belt holders, explaining the merit of a matchup with each title holder from his perspective. When it comes to 29-year-old WBC title holder Mario Barrios, who holds a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw with 18 KOs, Stanionis noted that Mario Barrios is a strong champion who brings toughness and heart into the ring. A fight between us would be explosive. I respect what he's done in the sport, but I believe my skills and determination will make the difference. WBO title holder Brian Norman Jr., who holds a record of 26 wins, no losses with 20 KOs, also has Stanionis' attention. Brian Norman Jr. has proven he belongs at the top. He's only getting better, Stanionis commented. I know he's hungry to show the world what he's capable of. A fight with the two of us would be a high-stakes battle between fighters who refuse to back down. I'm ready to put my belt on the line to make it happen. Then there is the fighter who spent 2024 looking for a compelling dance partner, Jaron Boots Ennis, the IBF title holder who holds a record of 33 wins, 0 losses and 29 KOs. Ennis is viewed as one of the most exciting emerging fighters in the sport, and Ennis-Stanionis fight wouldn't just be logical, it is the bout most likely to determine the best welterweight in the world. Boots Ennis is one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today, Stanionis said. He's fast, powerful and skilled, but I believe in myself and my ability to outlast anyone in the ring. The fans have been asking for this fight. I want to make it a reality. Unification fights like this define legacies. Stanionis. Elmantis Stanionis. You get on my nerves, bro. You get on my nerves, bro. You get on my nerves. Because what happened to all of this energy when the fight was presented to you? And you was offered 3 or 4 times more than you've ever been paid before. You and Brian Norman, both of you, got offered career high paydays to fight Boots, and both of you said no, and you said if you want us to come to Ennis' hometown to fight him there, you've got to pay more. Big man, what are you talking about, pay more? You have been out of boxing. They just said it, you had a 25-month layoff because you couldn't fight Virgil Ortiz. And then you were so broke that you had to move away from your camp in America and move back to your mom's house in Lithuania. You didn't even go back to your house in Lithuania. You went back to your mom's house in Lithuania because you had nowhere to stay, because that's how broke you were. And then when the fight was offered to you for over $1 million in your pocket, you were saying it's not enough because it was in Ennis' hometown. And because it was in Ennis' hometown, you have to get paid more for that. Ridiculous notion. Nobody knows you, Elmantis Stanionis. I only know you because I am a hardcore boxing fan. Nobody knows you. You're not fighting for 25 months. That's 2 years out of the ring, and you expect people to even want to see you what you're doing. No one even knows that you're the champion in the WBA. No one cares about you in the welterweight division. You are not known. And now you want to talk tough about, I need to unify. I need unification fights. Unification bouts were offered to you last year. You turned it down. You turned it down. You went on Boxing Voice and told Boxing Voice why you turned it down. Punk behavior, bro. Punks, man. You lot are jokers, bro. Now you want to talk about unification. I want you to get the fight with Boots, and I want Boots to bust your jaw. But personally, because Boots was running you down for the unification. But let me get my feelings out of the way. Factually, the best thing for you to do is fight Mario Barrios. You're both over there with the PBC. You lot should make that fight happen. But it seems as though the PBC can't make fights happen and also pay you guys the money that you want. It seems like they can't do that these days. Nobody's fighting over there. Mario Barrios just fought on Jake Paul's undercard. That's how much he's not even getting fights. He was lucky to get that fight on Jake Paul's undercard. But he got it. And he had the fight and he won it just about. Yeah? Now you are talking about you want to unify. You should be going after Mario Barrios. But you don't want to get paid the money that PBC want to pay you. That's why Mario Barrios is talking to Conor Benn about a fight with him. Conor Benn isn't even a WBC mandatory. Conor Benn has bought his way to the top 5 of all of these. He's fourth with the IBF. He's second with the WBA and the WBC. So Emantis Stanionis, he's second for you. And Mario Barrios, he's second for you. Mario Barrios, Solomon Sissoko is your mandatory. And with Elmantis Stanionis, Shukram Gayasev is your mandatory. And Eddie Hearn was trying to make you fight Shukram Gayasev because you weren't looking to fight Boots. So he's like, all right, cool, you don't want to fight Boots, fight your mandatory in Shukram Gayasev, who Eddie Hearn also promotes. So in all sense of the situation, whoever beats you is fine because he will just put them two in the ring. If Gayasev beats you, he'll put him in the ring with Boots. If Boots beats you, then Boots is unified and he can go on and carry on unifying with Mario Barrios and Brian Norman. But you're shook now because this is the situation. I know that Eddie Hearn is pushing for the Shukram Gayasev fight. And now you're shook and you're talking about, you want to unify now? Because you're shook of Shukram Gayasev because you know he's a bruiser and you'll come in there and he'll clean your jaw for you. Yeah? So now you're shook, you're talking about unification. I need to sell my belt for the most money I can. And if I do it in the unification, that's where I can get the biggest piece. Because if I fight this mandatory, I ain't getting much money for that. And he's due to knock me out anyway. That's how you're thinking. I'm watching your movements. And you're moving like a punk. And now you're talking about unification. Talking about no more excuses. You're the guy that had all the excuses, my guy. So let's hope they make this fight with Boots. Because at the end of the day, it can only be Boots really. Because you're going to have to get Shukram Gayasev to step aside. And for him to step aside, it's better you fight an Eddie Hearn fighter. Because if you fight Boots on the undercard, Shukram Gayasev can fight somebody else. Maybe even a Conor Benn, but they're not going to put Shukram Gayasev in there with Conor Benn because he'll beat Conor Benn up and end the Conor Benn story right there. Yeah? So they should put him on the undercard of a Elmantis Stanionis Jaron Ennis fight. But that's if they can get him to agree to step aside money. He might say, I don't want no step aside money. I want my title fight. If that's the case, then Stanionis is going to have to face his mandatory because that's the time right now. We're in mandatory time right now. And Ennis can go on and push for the Brian Norman fight because Brian Norman is talking about he wants to fight Ennis now. So that's cool. And Brian Norman said that out of his mouth, not his dad. His dad loves to chat rubbish on Brian Norman's behalf. I never listen to boxing dads' words about who their son is going to fight next. I don't listen to that. I wait for the fighter to say what he wants, or I wait for their promoter to say what's actually going to happen. These boxing dads are very delusional characters. And they act like they're children. They are very much arrested development people. Because a lot of them, like with Brian Norman's dad, he was a boxer. He's Brian Norman Sr. He was a boxer, got punched up by everybody. But then his son is actually doing things. His son's doing bits. He's found himself in the position to have this WBO title since Terence Crawford went up and vacated everything. That's the only reason why these people are champions. Because Terence Crawford went up and vacated Jaron Ennis got the IBF, Stanionis got the WBA, Mario Barrios got the WBC, and Brian Norman got the WBO. So, yeah, it's better they unify because none of them are really champions, you know. None of them are actually champions. None of them actually beat a champion to be a champion. So now that you're all been gifted titles, you lot need to fight each other to see who's the best welterweight right now. And plus, that will bring some life to the division as well. So, I will be definitely monitoring this situation going forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video.